Good morning. The road to success is steep and long, full of challenges where you must be strong. With each step forward, keep your vision clear. Success is the destination. Have no fear. Embrace the struggles. Embrace the struggles. Learn from each fall. Rise again, for success is a call. Preserve with passion. Preserve with passion. Let your dreams guide. Success is earned, not just a side. Success is earned, not just a side. So, with this quote, this is the journey, the road to success. And for Success at CA exam series, conducted by Board of Studies, today for CA Final Paper 3 Advanced Auditing Assurance and Professional Ethics, we mentor for the session. I am CA Karuna Bhansali.
I am CA Tanya Gupta.
So, good morning, all of you. I hope you all are ready for the session. You can write in the chat also. Are you ready?
Yes, so we get the thumbs
Yeah,
up.
we got the thumbs up. Right, good, Sumit. What about Iram and other students? So, in today's session, yes, ma'am. Okay. So, in today's session, what we have brought for you is, like in the previous session we have discussed the tips, general, like how much time you should allot, how you should prepare, right, how much time you should devote to auditing subject. We should not compromise with auditing subject. At each and every step in our journey, we used to do audit only, right? It's inbuilt in our routine. It's nothing new. It's not theory. It's not boring. आप जब भी कोई काम करते हो, आप उसको रिव्यू करते हो, उसको एनालाइज करते हो, राइट? तो वो क्या है? ऑडिट. मम्मा आपसे पूछती है आज खाने में क्या खाना है, तो आप पिछले आइटम्स जो आपने टेस्ट किए हैं, जो खाया है, उसको आप रिव्यू करोगे, रिकॉल करोगे, जो आपको पसंद है. यू विल टेल मम्मा ये चाहिए. मम्मा ने कुछ खाना बनाया और उसके टेस्ट में कुछ मिसिंग है, तो आपने बताया कि मम्मा इसमें वो वाला टेस्ट नहीं आ रहा. अच्छा, क्या मिसिंग है? दैट इज ऑडिट, राइट? सिंस चाइल्डहुड, पॉकेट मनी, होटल, मूवी, or on each and every step what we are doing is audit. It's nothing. It's inbuilt in our routine. It's embedded with our life journey. So don't think it's boring. Of course, here we are understanding professional terms of auditing. Okay, so at CA Final Paper 3, I expect I can call you future professionals. All are future chartered accountants, right? So, my dear future professionals, this session is meant for you so that in case if you need any specific guidance, we can guide you for the same. And in the last session, we shared all the like general tips that how you should prepare, how you should write in the examination. Of course, for 5 to 10 minutes, we will recall that, we will repeat the same, but after that, what we are going to cover, madam?
We are going to cover MTP series 2
Right.
question answers, descriptive questions,
Huh.
and some questions from suggested material.
Some questions from suggested or some questions from revisionary test paper. And if you have any doubt from mock test paper series 1, that also we can take up in the session. So in our bucket, we have brought the question bank so that we can practice lots of questions and we can understand the number pattern, that how many marks are allotted for each step, right? For which step, if you are not going to follow, you will lose the marks. So all that we are going to cover in today's session. So if you can just share general in 5 to 10 minutes, we can, right? Yeah. So I think they are all aware, but still if we can share.
Yes, you all are aware that your whole syllabus of 19 chapters is further divided into 5 subsections. Section number 1, engagement and quality control standards, which carries chapter number 1 to chapter number 11. and the weightage of this section is 45% to 55%.
So you can see it's alone section 1. So what we generally do, we look forward for the shortcut for auditing standards. For engagement and quality control standards, it means it comprises of SQC, SA, SAE, SRE, and SRS. So all these are covered in engagement and quality control standard. And this section 1 is chapter 1 to 11, as Tanya madam told you. But for this section, generally students tend to look for the shortcuts.
Right.
They search. They don't want to study in depth or in detail. But remember one thing, as we have discussed, road or success journey, if we are looking for shortcut, our journey will be longer. So rather than shortcut, we should develop habit to read the concept, have in-depth analysis why this standard is required. What is the objective of that particular standard? What is the scope of that particular standard? If we follow this standard, what will be the auditor's role? How auditor should perform duty in that particular situation? What is the responsibility of auditor, right? And lastly, how auditor should deal with the same while reporting, right? So all these pointers should be taken care when you are reading the standard. And do not forget, as ma'am already told you, it's 45% to 55% weightage for this section. And for passing, we need only 40%. So means 40 marks. So it's already being covered in this section. So for this section, don't compromise. And you've already studied many of the standards at intermediate level. So please don't compromise with this section. Yes, ma'am.
Then it is section number 2, that is chapter number 12, digital auditing and assurance.
Why it is interesting, ये भी आप बता सकते हो.
Yes, it is an interesting subject because in today's world we are using technology in our day-to-day operations, day-to-day entertainment also. So this is a very practical chapter for you to understand. And the weightage of this chapter is 3% to 6%. That is 4 to 6 marks.
Right.
Questions are asked from this chapter.
So minimum it is of 4 marks, right? And nowadays, if you see any of the student who is not having mobile or who is not using system, software, laptop, computers, even rather, if we see TV is also smart TV, right? For each and every, like almost generally people use smart cameras also. So at each and every step we are using technology. So here, how we can use digitally, digital methods for auditing, or how audit is being done digitally. So all that is covered over here. Yeah.
Next is section number third, which covers chapter number 13 to chapter number 17. That is all the miscellaneous audits are there in that. Overview of PSU, audit of banking and NBFC. Then we have due diligence, forensic accounting and investigation. And there is group audit. So everything is there in section number 3. Then the weightage of this section is 17% to 24%. That is 20 to 27 marks are being covered here. Then we have section number 4, that is ESG and SDG assurance. The weightage of this section is same as section number 2, that is 3% to 6%. That is minimum 4 marks are being asked from this section. And last but not the least, we have section number 5, that is professional ethics. The weightage of this section is 17% to 24%. That is minimum 20 marks are being asked from this section and maximum up to 27 marks are being asked from this section.
So you can observe that for section 3 and section 5 weightage is same, section 2 and section 4 weightage is same. That is 20 marks to 27 marks. If we plan in such a manner that if you have covered section 1 and section 5, it means you are through with 70 marks at least. So please, by heart, you should learn these chapters by heart. But of course, you need not to do cramming. You need to understand technical words and use those words. Those terminology is required in your answer, but you can write in your own words, right? आपको पूरा word by word study में या standard में जो लिखा है वो लिखने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में लिख सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको टेक्निकल टर्म्स को यूज करना है, राइट? And for engagement and quality control standards, we are having total 46 standards. One is SQC1, and I think you all are aware that SQC1 is applicable on all. It is parent standard. ठीक है, जैसे मम्मी पापा के लिए बच्चे हैं ना, वैसे इट्स अ पेरेंट स्टैंडर्ड एंड इट इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन ईच एंड एवरी स्टैंडर्ड, लाइक स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग, एसएई, standards on assurance engagement, standard on related services, or standard on review engagement. And students, I request you, I urge you that whenever you're studying, you please develop this habit that you are able to recall the name of the standard and number of the standard, because like in this paper May 25 examination, one question was being asked that was of course mentioning the series 2400, right? But rather than SRE it was misprint SAE. However, in the question scope was clearly mentioned that it is review engagement. So if you are through with the number and names, definitely scope, objective and role of auditor you should be knowing. But if you are through with the name and number and why it is applicable, then definitely if such kind of errors are being observed, you will be able to manage or tackle the paper. You will not lose a single minute for thinking or recalling that why it is SAE being given, राइट? तो इसलिए ये बहुत जरूरी है कि आपको पता हो कि कौन सा स्टैंडर्ड किस चीज के लिए डील करता है. रादर अभी मैंने कुछ दिनों में कुछ बच्चों से इंटरेक्ट किया एंड दे वर ऑफ द व्यू कि मैम वी आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड आइडेंटिफाई दैट विच स्टैंडर्ड विल बी एप्लीकेबल, right? Because they have studied in with summary charts, or maybe in very short they have studied the standards, so they are not able to analyze the whole situation, and result is they are not able to correlate it with the required or relevant standard. So this kind of mistakes are being observed. So please, that is the reason still we are having 17 days, 18 days, right? In these 17 to 18 days, what I expect from you that every day at least 2 to 3 hours, at least 3 hours you are devoting time to auditing subject. Okay? In these 3 hours, if you are through with the syllabus, very good. If you are not, then initial 7 days for 3 to 4 hours, you need to allot 1 hour to purely professional ethics, wherein you need to practice some of the question, you need to revise the chapter, right? So at least for 7 days, for 1 hour, you are giving your time to professional ethics, because of course it is covering 20 to 27 marks. So minimum 20 marks is there. So you should not ignore that chapter. In remaining 2 hours, 1 hour you can give to either digital audit or ESG, SDG. So your section 2 or 4 will be simultaneously covered, and in 5 to 7 days you will be through with professional ethics as well as another chapter. And remaining 2 hours, if you are taking, you should study at least 2 standard or 3 standard, right? Like you have done quality control chapter 1 here. In this chapter, we are having SQC1 and SA220, right? So in 3 hours, you have to develop this habit that every day you are revising 3 standards, you are practicing questions. So simultaneously, when you are reading the same, you will be in very strong position, and you need to revise it simultaneously. What you have studied today, tomorrow again, you have to take a glance, and day after tomorrow also. So it will be retained in your mind, and when you are in examination hall, when you are writing the answer, you will not find that you are not able to recall. मैम याद ही नहीं आ रहा है, 1.5 दिन में रिवाइज नहीं हो पा रहा है, कैसे रिवाइज करें, रिवाइज नहीं हो रहा, क्वेश्चन लिखते हैं लेकिन सब पता होता है लेकिन रिकॉल नहीं कर पाते, क्वेश्चन को आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाते, तो शॉर्टकट की जगह वी नीड टू हैव in-depth analysis, right? So initial 7 days we have done professional ethics and all those. In next 7 days we can have another topics along with standards. But now you need to give more time to auditing, like you need to attempt at least 2 mock test paper, maybe previous year question paper or mock test paper. And the time you should choose is 1:45 to 5 p.m. because at that point of time you are having your examination. So rather than sleeping now for 70 days, you should follow the pattern that you are writing your examination, you are solving the paper during that particular time, right? So 1:30, 1:35, you should be ready with just like you are for going for your paper. And for 1:45 to 5 p.m., 15 minutes, again, you need to optimize optimum utilization of 15 minutes for reading the question paper. And at 2 p.m., you'll sharp start, and 4:45, your paper should be over, and last 15 minutes, you will be doing revision. So you need to develop this habit that yes, at least 2 papers we are doing and we are evaluating. In that case also you will be in strong position because you will be able to secure 44 marks for section 2 and 4, 20 marks for section 5, and then for standards also you can begin with SQC1 SA 220, you can start with 700 series, right? SAE, SRE, SRS or SA 800. Of course, definitely 2 questions are being asked from those chapters also. And for those chapters, you need to refer study material itself, because if we read the bare standard, it will be in much more detail. So for one day, you can opt for one chapter, like that you can cover. But of course, do not forget to revise. So in that case, you will be in very strong position, right? So when you are through with the 2 sections and your standards are going on, then you will be having more time and you can start with miscellaneous audit. You can start with bank audit, NBFC audit, right? So this way you can practice, and still you see you are having 17 days. So you can accordingly manage the same, okay? But don't compromise with engagement and quality control standards. Prepare your notes, right? Mark, these pointers are very important. You need to follow the pattern. And one more important point, which I mention in each and every session, that when you are writing in the examination, when it is the question knowledge based, you need to give, because if you see you are having pattern, 2 markers MCQs and 5 or 4 markers descriptive questions, right? And what kind of questions are being there? Either it is knowledge and comprehension, or application and analysis, or evaluation and synthesis. For MCQ and case scenario, it is purely application
and analysis based questions,
wherein you need to read the question and you need to apply the provision. But for the questions which are knowledge and comprehension based, you need to recall the provisions and you need to write the same. And for writing the same, what mistake generally students do, Tanya madam?
they don't write correct standard name and numbers. They don't write the facts of the case. They don't conclude correctly. Basically, yes.
This is for application and analysis, right?
right.
And for application analysis, one more thing, when you are writing the conclusion, please interlink fact of the case with the provision and thereafter conclude, and don't forget to give conclusion, because if the question is for 4 mark or 5 mark, 1 mark is generally purely allocated to conclusion, right? Then for knowledge and comprehension, what you need to do, you need to write complete pointers. If it is for 4 marks, you need to write 4 complete points, right? If small pointers are there, you need to write 8 pointers. But students, while making their notes or while referring other short notes type of books, what they used to do, they divide the pointer into small pointers, and when they are writing in the examination, they forgot that they have divided one point into small pointers, and what they are doing in the examination, they are writing 3 small pointers rather than considering it at 1. तो 4 नंबर का आपने जो क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किया है उसमें आपको 4 कंप्लीट पॉइंट लिखना है with another way of writing or active passive mode or with different terms, और आपने जो डिवाइड करके लिखा है, it will not solve the पर्पस। तो आपको ये बहुत स्पेसिफिकली ध्यान रखना है कि यू आर राइटिंग कंप्लीट पॉइंट्स। अगर आपने एक पॉइंट को 3 पॉइंट में डिवाइड किया अपने ईज के लिए और आपने पेपर में वो 3 पॉइंट्स लिखे हैं, तो आपने एक ही मार्क अटेंड किया है। तो टेक्निकली जो बच्चे 30 मार्क्स नहीं कवर कर पाते या 40 तक नहीं पहुंच पाते, उनकी सबसे बड़ी एक जो मेजर मिस्टेक होती है वो यही होती है कि वो अपने जो पॉइंट्स देने हैं आंसर में वो कंप्लीट पॉइंट्स नहीं लिख पाते हैं। ठीक है, राइट? So paper pattern, I hope you all have observed, you all have seen. If you want, ma'am can just for a one fraction of second, she can cover what is the essential study resources which we are having if you have skipped any of the resources.
Yes, the essential resources is we have study material, we have integrated case scenario booklet for you to practice case scenarios. Then we have model test paper booklet. Then we have mm, revisionary test papers.
Yeah.
Then we have mock test papers for you to practice and suggested two series. Yes, we have mock test papers, two series. Then suggested answers are there for you, and you can practice MCQs and case scenarios BOS knowledge portal also. And for if still you have any doubt, in a particular topic, you can go through the LVC classes also.
Yeah. And this study material is not July edition, actually, it is December or November 2024 edition. And whatever amendments are being taken place after that for September, so there is no specific amendment. But if it is there, then it will be covered in academic update part of
Ma'am,
RTP.
Iram is asking, are the model papers a compilation of past papers?
Yes, in the model test paper, you can see previous question paper, or but for previous year's question paper, definitely we were not having MCQ part, so that will also not forming part of that. But we are having model test paper mein, means you maybe observe that mock test papers are there, pre Qs are there. So in model test paper booklet, it's comprising of I think six test papers for auditing subject specifically if I talk. And every day, if you are through with your syllabus, if you are through with your revision part, you can definitely select one mock test paper for every day. If you have selected today, if you are practicing today during this time, next day you should spend at least 1 hour for evaluation of the same. You need to review what kind of mistakes you are committing in the same, right? Because if you are not evaluating, generally I tell students ki at least 2 question you should write every day. But when you are writing the question, if you are not evaluating that what kind of mistake is being committed, कैसा आपका मिस्टेक, क्या किस तरह की गलती हो रही है, क्या आप पेपर में रिकॉल करना रह जाता है, या आपको स्टैंडर्ड का नाम याद गलत लिख रहे हो, या प्रोविजन गलत लिख रहे हो, और आप पॉइंटर्स को मिक्स कर रहे हो, और यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द रिक्वायरमेंट, तो किस तरह की मिस्टेक आपकी जनरली हो रही है, इफ यू आर अवेयर, यू कैन इम्प्रोवाइज in the next test paper. How you can best utilize your time management, like if the paper is tricky one, right? And if we don't know, some of the questions are very tricky, so we get panic when we see this kind of new questions or tricky questions, or if there is some ambiguity in any of the question, like in one of the, I think, examination maybe November, in one of the MCQ, out of 4 options, none of the option was correct. But student, when they interact with us, they said ki, ma'am, we have spent half an hour because we thought it will be done. But why to spend if you are not able to reach to that conclusion? Remember that 2 marks are being allocated, so your time management should also be in such a manner that how much time you are going to cover, give to 2 marker question. For 5 marker question, maximum how much time you can allot. For 4 marker question, how much time you can allot. So your time management skills should also be developed during this practice of model test paper or mock test paper, right? Yeah. Anything you want to add on?
Next, the paper pattern. We already know that paper is divided into two divisions. Division A, MCQ part, which is of 30 marks, and Division B, descriptive questions, 70 marks. Further, MCQs are divided into 2 to 3 case scenarios, and independent application-based MCQs are there, 3. And each MCQ is of 2 marks. That is,
so I think we can show them the real, like with the help of suggested answers, we can show them and we can Yeah. So this is the original paper. Yeah.
Yes.
And it is
This is
divided into
two parts. Part 1, multiple choice questions. 3 MCQs are there, 1, 2, and 3. These are 3 independent MCQs, 2 marks each. Then there are 3 case scenarios. Case scenario number 1, having
4 MCQs or maybe 5
5
MCQs
MCQs,
out
yeah.
of that. So total we are having 15 MCQs.
Having 4 MCQs. Then we have case scenario number 2. Um,
So in
and
total, if we have
total
15, so 3 independent MCQs are being generally asked and remaining 12 are from case scenario based. So
yes,
it may so happen that in one of the case scenario you are having 5 MCQs or 4
4 or
or maybe 3,
3
but not
MCQs.
less than 3 it will be. So definitely these case scenario based MCQs are also scoring one and there is no negative marking for MCQ part. But yes, how you are going to attend that MCQ, right? That strategy you need to find out, that you will be using elimination method or you will be choosing direct correct answer. And this is descriptive question, and in descriptive we are having total five
Total
total
6
six
questions
questions.
are there. Question number 1 is compulsory, and out of remaining 5 questions, you have one choice that you can attempt any 4 questions out of that remaining 5 questions.
And one internal choice is also
Also
being
there.
given generally in the, I think it's
Question.
generally in the last question.
Yes.
So you can opt for the same also. Now before moving to suggested answer, let's have one case scenario of MTP. Students, if you have any doubt, you can definitely ask that which case scenario you want to discuss. You can write in the chat or you can write through the portal that which case scenario you want to discuss. Otherwise, we can start with the
Independent MCQs.
MCQs case scenario, and then we will have descriptive question of this May 25 examination. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Suraj reported under clause 3A, subsection 3 of Master Directions, Non-Banking Financial Companies Auditors Report, Reserved Bank Directions 2016 that Alpha Limited is not eligible to hold its certificate of registration under Section 45IA of the RBI Act, as during the year the net owned funds went below the minimum required limit. So, management of the NBFC had a different opinion that a certificate pertaining to net owned funds from the statutory auditor is required with reference to the position of the company as at the 31st March and not based on each month's position.
So who is going to tell the answer?
Kindly guide Mr. Suraj with respect to the requirement under master direction.
So here again we are having 4 options, right? That every NBFC shall submit a certificate from its statutory auditor that it is eligible to hold a certificate of registration under section 45 IA of the RBI Act. So this is common, right? In the first, like if we see in the A option, we are having, every NBFC shall submit a certificate from its statutory auditor that it is eligible to hold a certificate of registration under section 45 IA of RBI Act. Same is given in the B section also, that every NBFC shall submit a certificate. But in D also it is same. Initial 2 lines are same, but C is telling only NBFC MI shall submit a certificate from its statutory auditor that it is eligible to hold a certificate of registration. So what is it? Whether C is correct or not? If we use elimination method. Yeah, Sumit, Iram, if you can tell whether C is correct or not. At the beginning, only we can see that C is wrong because only NBFC MFI shall submit a certificate. It is not requirement for each and every NBFC. It is required, right? So C is eliminated. Now, if we talk about A, B, or C, we need to check whether it is throughout the financial year, whether it is as at 31st March, or in D option we are having that as at the end of each month. Now we are having 3 requirement, right? No, Sumit, it is not throughout. We need to check the position of the company as at 31st March. So which option will be correct option? It is option B, right? So correct answer is option B, that every NBFC shall submit a certificate from its statutory auditor that it is eligible to hold a certificate of registration under section 45IA of the RBI Act. Such a certificate would be with reference to the position of the company as at 31st March, right? So option B is the correct answer. Those who have joined through portal, they can also mark the answer. They can also share their answer. Yeah. Next question.
Navya and Associates are the statutory auditors of MNO Limited for the financial year 2024-25. While conducting the audit, CA NAMI, the engagement partner, noticed the following: investigations by the regulatory organizations and government departments of payment of fines or penalties, payment for unspecified services or loans to consultants, related parties, employees or government employees, unusual payments in cash, purchases in the form of cashier checks payable to bearer or transfer to numbered bank accounts, unusual payment towards legal and retainership fees, unusual transactions with companies registered in tax havens, payments without proper exchange control documentation.
So when you are analyzing, you need to tell me what it is indicative of, right? In the question also, same requirement is being asked, that CA NAMI should consider the above as indicative of. Now I'm waiting for your answer. Right. Iram, Himanshi. Very good, Himanshi. You're right. Sumit, going concern? No. Iram is confused. Beta, just read the conditions and investigation by regulatory organization and government department or payment of fines or penalty. If there are lots of indication of investigation, fine or penalty, when we used to pay fine or penalty, when we violate some terms or conditions, right? If we are not complying with the law or regulation. Now, if you see first point, payments of fines or penalty, and to whom you are paying, regulatory organization or government department, right? Investigation is also being conducted. So when it is being conducted, if you see income tax penalty or like, so it is simply indication of non-compliance. If we read another one also, payment for unspecified services or loan to consultant. When we are going to consult, if there is non-compliance, or maybe we are in compliance, but then also we need to discuss with the consultant, right? Or related party or employer, government employee, and we are paying for unspecified services. So that is also indication of non-compliance with law. It is not going concern. And there is no doubt on internal control because we are making payment to government employee, right? And for unspecified services. So it means it is indicating कि आपसे कुछ न कुछ non-compliance हुई है, right? तो ये आपको देखना है. Unusual payment in cash, purchase in form of cashier's check available to bearer or transfer to numbered bank's account. You see, legal or retainership fees. So we can see that we are doing payment of fine or penalty. We are paying legal fee or retainership fee. All these are indicative of doubt of non-compliance of law by MNO Limited. Clear, Sumit? Iram, it's clear to you now? So correct answer is yes. Correct answer is D. Now any one of you can tell me which standard is it? Purview of which standard? is attracting these situations?
Right.
Very good. SA 250. What is the name of the standard? Yeah, tell me, Sumit.
Consideration of laws and regulation in an audit of financial statement.
Okay, consideration of laws and regulation. Right, correct. Thank you, Sumit. And all are with him, Himanshi, Iram, and others. Yeah, moving towards next question. So I think it's clear to all. Yeah, right. Yes.
DPT Bank had an NPA account of Messrs. Sahil and Sons showing recoverable amount of rupees 40 lakh in the books. It sold the NPA for rupees 45 lakh. Please select as to which of the following options is the correct accounting. A. Let the amount remain in Messrs. Sahil and Sons account. B. Credit the excess of rupees 5 lakh to profit on sale of asset. C. Credit the excess of rupees 5 lakh to provisions for loss on sale of NPAs. And D. Return rupees 5 lakh to the party purchasing the NPA.
Very good, Sumit. What about others? So NPA is of 40 lakh, right? And it is sold for 45 lakh. So we are having profit. We are having profit, excess, right? So let the amount remain in Mr. Sahil and Sons account? No. Return 5 lakh to party purchasing the NPA. So these are eliminated. Now we are having two options. Credit the excess of 5 lakh to profit on sale of asset or provision for loss on sale of NPA. Where you will credit the excess? You will credit the excess of 5 lakh to profit on sale of asset? No, you will credit the excess of 5 lakh to provision for loss on sale of NPAs. So correct answer is C, right? So now we can move towards next. Yeah, Supriya is a practicing chartered accountant and a partner in SPR Associates. What is SPR Associate? It is a CA firm engaged in various assignments across audit, advisory, compliance, and management consultancy for clients in the banking, education, cooperative, and public sector. Now, recently, the firm received the following engagement request. What is this? Supriya, who is the statutory auditor of one of her major client, Cozy Textile Limited, has been requested by the management to assist in compilation of financial information into a proper format for presentation to prospective investor in accordance with SRS 4410. सुप्रिया को क्या बोला है कोजी टेक्सटाइल ने कि आप मैनेजमेंट को असिस्ट कीजिए किस चीज के लिए सुप्रिया क्या है स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर उसको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप क्या करो कंपाइलेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन राइट into a proper format for presentation to prospective investors उसके लिए in accordance with SRS 4410 क्या वो कर सकती है नहीं कर सकती है देखते हैं नेक्स्ट आई थिंक इस पे कुछ क्वेश्चन है she was approached by a hospitality chain for conducting a mystery audit सुना है mystery audit at their 17 branches to evaluate service quality and compliance with SOPs for fee of rupees 85,000. Now, Supriya holds the position of Director Simpliciter in Fair Private Limited. She is Director Simpliciter. The company is now requesting her to digitally sign ROC forms due to her professional qualification. I think आपको समझ आ गया होगा कि ये purely professional ethics based case scenario hai. Additionally, to expand her practice, she is planning to use a messaging application, right? App she want to use for messaging to inform business groups about her firm's services and highlight the specialized areas and expertise, right? So based on the above fact, which question we are going to ask, ma'am? Yeah.
Which of the following is correct with regards to CA Supriya approached by a hospitality client for conducting mystery audit?
So in one of the option we are having she cannot. In B, C, D, it is she can.
accept.
Now,
Yeah.
whether she can accept or not, I'm waiting for your answer. Students, come on, fast, buck up. In chat. Are you aware whether mystery audit can be accepted by CA Supriya or not? Have you gone through recent decisions of ethical standard board given in the study material at the end before key takeaways? Oh, no, no, no. She can accept the assignment only if the client is not an existing audit client. No. No. She can accept the assignment only if approved by ICAI in writing. So both of you have given incorrect answer. She cannot is also incorrect. Now we are having correct answer in front of us that yes, she can accept the assignment since mystery audit is a permitted service. Mystery audit can be accepted. So you need to read the recent decisions of ethical standard board, right? And this is covered in, it's given on your, it's in the new point. Now, point number 4, it is permissible for a member in practice to accept the assignment of mystery audit, right? So she can accept the assignment of mystery audit, right? Yeah.
What does CS Supriya do in case of Cozy Textile Limited? Cozy Textile Limited is this case where.
And Sumit, one more thing I want to highlight that if we read this point, now you see, she was approached by a hospitality chain for conducting a mystery audit. So she is not auditor. She is not holding. She is not. It is not existing audit client because they are approaching. So we need to opt for the most appropriate answer, right? So they have approached, so they are not already auditor, right? So that is the reason correct answer is she can accept the assignment since mystery audit is a permitted service.
So what should CA Supriya do in case of Cozy Textile Limited? She should accept the assignment as compilation is not an assurance service. She should decline the assignment as auditors cannot perform compilation engagement for audit clients under SRS 4410. Accept the engagement after disclosing it in the audit report or accept the engagement if permitted by the audit committee. Okay, Sumit.
Very good, Sumit. This time you are right. What about others? I'm waiting for others also. No. Yeah. You are right, Idam. Because Sumit, why it is not correct, I'll tell you. Yeah. I'm waiting for Himanshi. And students, those are on, they are watching from the portal. They can also write through chat. Yeah, Himanshi. Okay. So Supriya can accept the assignment, right? Accept the engagement. Accept the engagement. 3 options are telling you to accept. And one is decline or not accept, right? So Supriya can accept, but as it is not an assurance service, but she cannot accept the assignment as compilation is not an assurance service, right? But if Supriya is already statutory auditor, so how she can do compilation engagement? She need to decline because she is already statutory auditor, right? Accept the engagement after disclosing it in audit report, it cannot be correct answer. After disclosing also you cannot because you are statutory auditor. You cannot do compilation of financial information for COSI. If permitted by the audit committee, if audit committee is permitting, then also we cannot. Because as per ethical standard board recent decision, it is not allowed that statutory auditor is performing compilation engagement for audit client under SRS. So please see that here Supriya need to decline the assignment. So who was B? Himanshi is B, right? And Iram is also, I think Iram, which option Iram told?
He told B only.
Yeah, so Iram is earlier he tell.
Sumit told A.
Yeah. So is it clear to all of you that option B will be the correct answer? And if we see elimination method and B is a decline. So if we read the D, B carefully, decline the assignment as auditors cannot form compilation engagement audit client under SRS 4410 except will be close. Yeah.
Can CA Supriya digitally sign the ROC forms for FAIR Private Limited? Yes, she may sign since she is a qualified chartered accountant. Yes, she may sign if she doesn't receive any remuneration. Yes, she may sign if she is not the auditor of the company. No, she cannot sign as it creates a conflict with the auditor's role.
Yes, waiting for your answer, students.
So, Supriya holds the position of Director Simpliciter in FAIR Private Limited. Company is now requesting her to digitally sign ROC forms due to her professional qualification. She was a Director Simpliciter. Okay. Iram is writing D, conflict hai. Sumit is saying D, conflict hai.
So I think all are on correct line, right? So correct answer is yes, no. She cannot sign as it creates a conflict with the auditor's role, right?
Yes.
So all are clear. So we need not to emphasize, we need not to discuss. Yeah, next question.
Does CA Supriya is correct in using a messaging application? So here she
want to expand her practice.
So she want to use.
And to whom she want to send the messages? To inform the business groups. Okay. And she want to highlight her specialized areas of expertise. So whether she can, it is permitted?
Yes, it is permitted. Option number A, yes, it is permitted as long as the recipients are known contacts. B, yes, it is permissible with the disclaimer. C, no, it is not permissible as it amounts to solicitation. And D, yes, it is permissible if only educational content is shared.
I'm waiting for other. Yeah, Iram, you are right.
Sumit is saying A.
No, Sumit, it is permitted as long as no. Just go to the situation, Kanya. Yeah. Read the condition, Sumit, to expand her practice. She want to expand her practice and what she is planning to use messaging application and to inform business groups, not CA. Business group that her firm services, what kind of services they are providing. She also want to highlight a specialized area. So what it tantamount to? It is clause 6, solicitation. So it is not allowed, right? Now here it is not recent decision of ethical standard board. In this case, it is not permitted because it will amount to solicitation. Yes. So this is correct option. Correct option is C. No, it is not permissible as it amount to solicitation. Yeah. Case scenario 2, and after that we are going to discuss descriptive question of suggested answers. May 25 examination question paper will take up.
While auditing consolidated financial statements of Kisan Industries Limited for the year 2024-25, a manufacturing company whose financial statements are required to be prepared in accordance with Division 2 of Schedule 3 of the Companies Act, CA Karthik notices that A. The notes to accounts in respect of consolidated financial statements disclose additional information pertaining to the holding company and its subsidiaries. It provides disclosure regarding percentages of consolidated net assets, consolidated P&L, and total comprehensive income along with the respective amounts pertaining to holding company and its subsidiary. Shall I move to question first? Or
You can, yeah.
considering the disclosure of additional information in CFS as stated in para A of case study, which of the following statement is correct? The said disclosure is not proper as percentage of OCI along with respective amount pertaining to holding company and its subsidiaries is required. The said disclosure is not proper as percentage of consolidated revenue from operations along with respective amount pertaining to holding company and its subsidiaries is required. The said disclosure is not proper as percentage of consolidated revenue from operations as well as other comprehensive income along with the respective amounts pertaining to holding company and its subsidiaries are also required. And the option D is the said disclosure is proper.
Yeah. Now you can see that 3 are telling that disclosure is not proper. Right? And last one is saying disclosure is proper. So now first you need to tell me whether disclosure is proper or not. Can anyone tell me that whether disclosure is proper or not? If we read to the question, notes to accounts in respect of consolidated financial statements disclose additional information pertaining to the holding company and its subsidiary. Right? Notes to accounts specifically जो आपके CFS के लिए है वो क्या डिस्क्लोज कर रहे हैं? एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन. It provides disclosure regarding percentage of consolidated net assets, consolidated profit and loss, total comprehensive income along with their respective amount pertaining to holding company and its subsidiaries. और अगर हम क्वेश्चन को रीड करें, because what generally we tend to do is we read the case MCQ first and then we go to case scenario, but definitely you need to read the whole case scenario. Here the case scenario is divided into small parts, so we have simply referred to that. But अगर ये comprehensive है तो कौन से पार्ट का नेक्स्ट पार्ट कहाँ डिस्कस्ड होगा उसको आपको बहुत केयरफुली रीड करने की जरूरत है. तो उस केस सिनेरियो को यू नीड टू रीड केयरफुली. ठीक है, एटलीस्ट आप उसको मार्क करते जाए, पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट रीड करें बहुत ध्यान से. तो यहां हम देखेंगे फर्स्ट ऑप्शन जो दिया है उसमें कह रहे हैं सेट डिस्क्लोजर इज नॉट प्रॉपर. व्हाई? बिकॉज परसेंटेज ऑफ अदर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इनकम along with respective amount pertaining to holding company and its subsidiary is also required. उन्होंने क्या दिया है? उन्होंने दिया है disclosure regarding percentage of consolidated net assets, consolidated of profit and loss account, and total comprehensive income along with the respective amount pertaining to holding company and subsidiaries. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्यों प्रॉपर नहीं है? क्योंकि आपको क्या देना है? परसेंटेज ऑफ अदर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इनकम along with respective amount pertaining to holding company and subsidiary. ठीक है, यहां आपको सेकंड ऑप्शन जो दिया है वह रेवेन्यू पार्ट पे दे दिया है. थर्ड आपको जो दे दिया है वो अदर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इनकम पे दिया है, रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन एज वेल एज अदर कॉम्प्रिहेंशन इनकम. तो दोनों तो नहीं है, इसका मतलब जो करेक्ट ऑप्शन है वो आपका हो गया ए. Said disclosure is not proper as percentage of other comprehensive income along with respective amount pertaining to holding company and its subsidiary is also required. Right? Yeah. Now we need to read the situation first. Na? The financial statement of one foreign subsidiary included in consolidated financial statements are drawn up to 31st December 2024. कौन है आपकी वन फॉरेन सब्सिडरी? राइट, और कब तक का? 31st December 2024 in accordance with the legal requirement in US. Now in US different framework is there, right? He feels it to be weird and is of the view that consolidated financial statement of group could present a distorted picture. क्या बोल रहे हैं वो? ये वियर्ड है क्योंकि हम कब तक बनाते हैं 31 मार्च तक, और जो फॉरेन सब्सिडरी है उसका कब तक है 31 दिसंबर का। ठीक है, द मैनेजमेंट इन टर्म informs that it is not practicable to draw financial statement of foreign subsidiary to 31st March 2025. Now management is informing कि भैया हमारे लिए पॉसिबल नहीं है कि we will make the financial statement till 31st March 2024. Now question is asking
what should be auditor's proper course of action pursuant to situation highlighted in para B relating to financial statements of a foreign subsidiary. So the auditor should insist for drawing up of financial statements of foreign subsidiary to 31st March 2025. The reason for impracticality is a mere excuse. In case of failure to redraw, he can modify his opinion in accordance with SS 705.
हो सकता है क्या?
Second, the auditor can accept management's version. Third, the auditor should modify his opinion by quantifying the financial effects of such an inconsistency.
Very good, Iram.
And now D, the auditor can accept management's version. However, it is his duty to verify adjustments made for effects of significant transactions or event occurring between 1st January and 31st March 2025.
Yeah. So correct answer is, Iram has already given correct answer. Who else has given?
Only
Yeah. What about Himanshi, Sumit? I'm waiting for your answer, beta. So auditor can accept management's version. Same is given in the B and D. But of course, auditor can accept management's version. However, it is duty to verify adjustment made for effect of significant transactions or event occurring between 1st January to 31st March, because for holding company they need to draw the financial statement till 31st March, right, Himanshu? So correct answer is D. Is A, if we see, it is given vaguely that auditor should insist for drawing up, because reason for impracticality is a mere excuse. Right? He cannot modify his opinion because it is not impractically. He is not giving any, management is not giving any excuse. Right? And auditor can accept management's version, of course, accept, but he need to verify. Right? So D is the most appropriate answer. And in C, he should modify his opinion. That is not practically possible, right? So next question, yeah.
During the year 2024-25, goodwill of 60 crore has arisen on account of the acquisition of a subsidiary during the year, and there is no impairment loss as on the balance sheet date. Besides, adjustments have been made in consolidated financial statements with respect to intra-group indebtedness and those related to harmonizing different accounting policies being adopted by parents and its subsidiaries. So, which of the following statement is correct in respect of goodwill and other matters described in the case scenario? Goodwill represents current period consolidation adjustments relating to intra-group indebtedness and those relating to harmonizing different accounting policies being adopted by the parent and its subsidiaries represent permanent consolidation adjustments. B. Goodwill represent permanent consolidation adjustments relating to intra-group indebtedness and those relating to harmonizing different accounting policies being adopted by the parent and its subsidiaries represent current period consolidation adjustment. Then adjustments relating to goodwill, intra-group indebtedness, and those relating to harmonizing different accounting policies being adopted by parent and its subsidiaries represent current period consolidation adjustments. And D, goodwill and adjustments relating to harmonizing different accounting policies being adopted by the parent and its subsidiaries represent permanent consolidation adjustments. Adjustments relating to intra-group indebtedness represent current period consolidation adjustments. So Iram has written B.
What about others? Yeah, write on the chat. Waiting for others. What if it is wrong, then also it is okay, but we need to give answer now. If we are giving wrong answer, then also we will be able to remember.
Iram is saying B and Sumit is saying D.
What about Himanshi? Yeah. So ma'am, you only tell which is the correct answer. First, so you see goodwill represent current period consolidation or current period or permanent, right? So if we see A or B, goodwill is generally permanent consolidation adjustment, right? Adjustment relating to intragroup indebtedness and those relating to harmonizing different accounting policy being adopted by the parent and subsidiary are current period consolidation adjustment, right? In this, it is given as vice versa. But if you see, we can see intragroup indebtedness is not permanent consolidation. It is current period consolidation only. So it is wrong. And goodwill is permanent consolidation. Now, if we see adjustment relating to goodwill intergroup indebtedness and those relating to harmonizing different accounting policy being adopted by parent and its subsidiary represent current period. Incorrect, because they are not talking about any permanent consolidation adjustment. Indeed, goodwill and adjustments relating to harmonizing different accounting policy being adopted by the parent and subsidiary. So, harmonizing different accounting policy is also current consolidation adjustment, current period consolidation, right? So, it is not forming part of. That is the reason B is incorrect, Sumit. Beta, so correct answer is B, that goodwill represent permanent consolidation adjustment and intragroup indebtedness or those relating to harmonizing different accounting policies adopted by parent and subsidiary are current period consolidation adjustment. So what you need to know in the chapter specifically current period adjustment and in permanent consolidation adjustment are given over there. Examples are also given over there. So if you read carefully or when you were preparing for FR, you might have studied in there. Definitely you will be able to identify that yes, goodwill is permanent consolidation adjustment, right? Yeah. Um, it is noticed by him that one subsidiary was acquired on 21st June 24. He is in a dilemma as regard to the correctness of consolidation of its financial statement in group financial statement. And I think we should study this para also. So, besides, he is also in the process of finalizing audit report, including matter to be reported under CARO in respect of CFS. However, he is in a fix in respect of a manner reporting under CARO 2020 relating to CFS. So, if you remember, prior to CARO 2020 से पहले CFS पे reporting नहीं होती थी. But in CARO 2020, last clause is specifically about reporting for CFS, right? So, two adjustments we have discussed, and there are two MCQs given for the same.
Which of the following statement is most appropriate regarding CFS of a subsidiary acquired on 21st June 24? The auditor should verify that income and expense of subsidiaries are included in CFS for the complete financial year, and further such income and expenses are based on the amounts of assets and liabilities recognized in CFS at the preceding reporting date. The auditor should verify that income and expenses of subsidiaries are included in CFS from the date it gains control of subsidiary, and further, such income and expenses are based on the amounts of assets and liabilities recognized in CFS at the preceding reporting date. The auditor next is the auditor should verify that income and expenses of subsidiary are included in CFS for the complete financial year, and further, such income and expense are based on the amounts of assets and liabilities recognized in a CFS at the acquisition date. And last, the auditor should verify that income and expense of subsidiary are included in CFS from the date it gains control of subsidiary, and further, such income and expense are based on the amounts of assets and liabilities recognized in CFS at the acquisition date.
So answer is D. Right. The auditor should verify.
Sumit is saying C, Iram is saying D.
Yeah. So what is the difference between C and D? Na? If we read C and D, auditor should verify that income and expenses of subsidiary are included in CFS. Now, if we talk of C for the complete financial year, and if we talk of D from the date it gains control of subsidiary, so the difference is date of, right? So correct option is D, because we will verify the income and expenses of subsidiary, which are included in the CFS from the date it gains control of subsidiary. Further, such income and expenses are based on the amounts of assets and liabilities recognized in the CFS at the acquisition date, like inventory if we talk about. So whatever inventory amount we have considered in CFS, will definitely accordingly see that income and expenses are based on that particular amount. It will not be like that in the situation it is given that the consolidation took place on which date? It took
21st June.
place on 21st June 2024, right? So rather than 21st June, matlab before that, we cannot take 10th April or 31st May. We will be considering the 21st June itself, and from that date, whatever amount is of like trade receivable or land and building, so whichever assets are being taken over, if we see, the amount will be based on the same, right? So जो भी अमाउंट आपने उस वक्त कंसिडर किया था, आप उसको ध्यान रखते हुए उसके बेसिस पे इनकम और एसेट्स जो आपका है एक्सपेंसेस को आप रिकॉग्नाइज करेंगे. तो इसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्रॉम द डेट it gains control of subsidiary, right? Clear, Sumit, that why option D is correct? Is it clear, beta? Okay. So last is ऑलरेडी हमने ये डिस्कस कर लिया है रादर, बट अब इसमें मैं फिर एक्सप्लेन नहीं करूंगी. आई विल एक्सपेक्ट दैट आप मुझे आंसर बताएं इसका कि कारो 2020 के बेसिस पे कौन सा रिक्वायर्ड है.
A separate report providing clause by clause reporting under CARO is required in respect of specified matters pertaining to parents and all subsidiaries incorporated in India, or it would be sufficient under CARO. It would be sufficient if report under CARO in respect of standalone financial statement is supplemented with additional information in respect of all the subsidiaries incorporated in India. A separate report under CARO 2020 in respect of all the subsidiaries incorporated in India together is required. It should be annexed with report under CARO 2020 in respect of standalone financial statements, or reporting of details of subsidiaries together with paragraph number of reports under CARO 2020 of auditor of such companies incorporated in India containing qualification of adverse remark would serve the purpose.
Yeah, who can tell the answer? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. Sumit, is it not clear? Should I read the para again? So what it is, basically, besides, he is also in the process of finalizing audit report, including matters to be reported under CARO 2020 in respect of CFS. However, he is in a fix in respect of manner of reporting relating to CFS. कि CFS reporting के लिए उसको कैसे करना है, right? So Tanya madam already read all the options for you. And the question is specifically asking you कि अगर हमें reporting under CARO 2020 करना है, right? और CFS के लिए specifically पूछा है, तो कौन सा accordance with requirement of law है? क्या separate report देना है? दो में separate report है. फोर्थ में रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ डिटेल ऑफ सब्सिडी टुगेदर विद पैराग्राफ नंबर ऑफ रिपोर्ट्स अंडर कारो 2020. क्या ऐसा होता है? Subsidy together with paragraph number. So, wrong. Iram, no. Himanshi, D is wrong. I am saying reporting of detail of subsidy together with paragraph number under CARO of such company incorporated in India containing qualification or adverse remark would serve the purpose. No, it's wrong. Right? Separate report under CARO 2020. Incorporated in India together is required. It should be annexed with report in respect of standalone financial statement, or it would be sufficient if report under CARO 2020 in respect of standalone financial statement is supplemented with additional information in respect of all subsidiary. So what we will be doing as an auditor, if report under CARO 2020 in respect of standalone financial statement is supplemented with additional information, आपको incorporated in India का तो सारा detail देना है, लेकिन for CARO 2020 you need to give standalone financial statements report on, right? And additional information should be there for all subsidiaries which are incorporated in India. So for CARO 2020, it will be standalone, but as supplemented with additional information. Yeah, this is last case scenario. And after that, we are going to discuss suggested answers of May 25 examination, right? ADM and Associate, very simple questions. ADM and Associates, a medium-sized audit firm, has recently been appointed as the statutory auditor of Munich Limited, listed pharmaceutical company involved in complex global operations and intensive R&D activities. Audit is being led by CA Rajul, an engagement partner. Company was previously audited by a Big Four firm, which withdrew citing limitation in audit scope. During planning, CA Rajul observes that while her team has good experience with standard manufacturing audit, but still they lack exposure to pharmaceutical sector audits. They don't have any expertise for this particular sector, especially in relation to R&D accounting and global reporting, global regulatory requirement. So CA Rajul, who is engagement partner, right? And this company was earlier audited by Big Four. Munich Limited was audited by Big Four. Now they have withdrawn because of certain limitation on audit scope, right? And Rajul is of the view that they lack exposure. Despite this concern, the managing partner insists that the team follow their standard procedure to ensure the audit is completed on time, especially due to the company's obligation under listing regulation. CA Rajul is concerned about whether the firm possesses the capability and competence to deliver a high quality and in line with professional standards. Now, my first question is, this situation is based on which standard? If you need to identify the applicability of the standard, which standard will click in your mind? Can you tell me which standard will be attracted in this situation? Very good, Sumit. It is SQC1. Yeah. Any other? One more standard is also involved. If you see, one more standard will be involved because what your engagement partner also, right? Yeah, SA 220. So as per SQC1, what is the most appropriate action for CA Rajul to take after assessing that her audit team lacks experience in pharma R&D? So as per SQC1, it is very important that auditor overall analyze that whether they are having capability and competence to conduct the auditor to take up any assignment, because they need to ensure the quality for overall. So here in this case, proceed with the audit using standard checklist. So Rajul should not be panic, and she can proceed, and she can use standard checklist and procedures. Raise a concern internally, consider involving external expert or specialist. Very good, Iram and Sumit, you have given correct answer. Ignore the concern as the client expect timely reporting, and delegate responsibility to junior staff familiar with manufacturing audit. So correct answer is B, as you already identified that they need to raise the concern internally, and if they want to accept or if they have accepted, then what they should do, they should involve external expert or specialist, those who are having good idea of R&D, accounting and global regulatory requirement, and those who are having exposure to pharmaceutical sector audits, right? The fact that the previous Big Four auditor resigned due to scope of limitation should prompt which of the following action by ADM and associate? What they should do? Very simple and easy question. Can any one of you tell that whether they can assume the limitation will be resolved and appointed because client has appointed new auditor? They can proceed after understanding the nature of scope, limitation, and documenting the evaluation. Consider it irrelevant since resignation is a common occurrence. Use the previous auditor's work to complete current year audit. So in first you answered very fast, but what happened now? I'm waiting for your answer. Very good, Sumit. Very good, Iram. Yeah. Himanshi. So correct option is B. Of course, Big Four auditor resigned, but there was scope of limitation. So resignation is not a common occurrence. When there is a case of resignation, they should definitely understand the nature and scope of limitation, because if it is very important and if it will impact their engagement, they should not, right? So what they should do, they should understand the nature of scope limitation and document the evaluation. And after that, they should proceed further, right? Last question, last MCQ. Under SA 220, what is CA Rajul's responsibility as the engagement partner regarding audit quality? I told you, na, SQC1 and SA 220. Yeah. So, to ensure only documentation is maintained, to ensure appropriate direction, supervision, and review of audit work, to delegate all key decisions to the audit manager, or to report only to the audit committee. Very good. Very good. So you have already given correct answer. So option B is the correct answer, to ensure appropriate direction, supervision and review of the audit work. So with this, we are through with the MCQ part, case scenario part for your paper. And now we are moving towards your descriptive part of the suggested answers. Before proceeding further, if you have any specific doubt regarding any of the question, maybe of mock test paper series 1, 2, or any other question, if you are having, you can write in the chat. I would like to take up that, and then I can proceed further with the suggested answer descriptive question number 1. Any query, beta? What should be length of ideal answer for 5-mark question? It's all dependent on the requirement of the question. For 5-marker question, Iram, you need to see what is the requirement of the question, right? Sometimes it may be lengthy one also. 5 marks ke liye, if it is knowledge based, then you need to give 5 complete points. Or small pointers are there, you can write 10 pointers. But if it is application and analysis based, देन आपको उसमें स्टैंडर्ड आइडेंटिफाई करना है, उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट, उसमें कितने प्रोविजन एप्लीकेबल है, कई बार आप जब क्लियरली आपके कंसेप्ट क्लियर नहीं होते, यू आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू समटाइम्स इट हैपन दैट यू थिंक ये वाला स्टैंडर्ड भी आ जाएगा, ये वाला स्टैंडर्ड भी आ जाएगा, ये स्टैंडर्ड भी इसका आंसर हो सकता है. तो वो थोड़ा सा गलत हो जाता है, राइट? तो अगर आपने इन डेप्थ स्टडी की है तो यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड that yes, this particular standard will be applicable. So if we see this question number 1, it is for 5 marks, right? It is application and analysis based question. Situation is being given and what is the requirement of the question. So for 5 marks we need to understand what is the requirement. In the first part it is being asked what should Messrs STN company include in the other information section, right? Auditor's report, its specific format is being given, just like title, है ना? Date of the audit report, location, right? Opinion paragraph, basis for opinion paragraph, going concern paragraph, and then you are also having one other option section also, other option para also, है ना? तो दिस क्वेश्चन इज स्पेसिफिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट अदर इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन. तो आपको पहले तो ये बताना है अदर ऑप्शन सेक्शन में क्या क्या इंक्लूड होगा वो. एंड सेकेंड पार्ट आपको दिया इफ मैनेजमेंट डज नॉट करेक्ट द आइडेंटिफाइड मिस स्टेटमेंट, तब आप क्या करोगे, है ना? इस 5 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन में आपका ये क्वेश्चन जो है वो 3-2 में डिवाइड हो सकता है, राइट? या 4 और 1 में डिवाइड हो सकता है. तो आपको एज्यूमिंग दिस इज 5 मार्कर क्वेश्चन, बट आप सेकेंड पार्ट में भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते और फर्स्ट पार्ट में भी आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं कर सकते कि व्हाट शुड मेसर्स एसटीएन कंपनी इंक्लूड इन द अदर इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन. तो आपको पूरा जो रिक्वायरमेंट है वो देना पड़ेगा, बट ऐसे लेंदी क्वेश्चन सारे नहीं होंगे, उसमें आपको पूरा रिक्वायरमेंट भी देना होगा. बी पार्ट के लिए आपको कि अगर वो नहीं करते हैं तो वो ओपिनियन पैरा में क्या लिखेंगे, अदर इंफॉर्मेशन में वो क्या इंडिकेट करेंगे उस सेक्शन में, वो भी मेंशन करना होगा. ठीक है? बहुत सारे बच्चों ने इसको कंफ्यूज किया अदर मैटर पैरा से. They were not able to understand the requirement of SA 720. This question specifically is on SA 720. If you read the question, that PQR Motors Limited, a listed entity engaged in the manufacture and sale of automobile and related party, has prepared its annual financial statements for the financial year 24-25. And company's management is also responsible for preparing other information. Now here we are talking about other information. And what it is including? What it is including? Annual report, chairman's message, future projection. अगर आपने ऐसे 720 को पढ़ रखा है, then you will be very much clear that what an auditor is required to cover and what is covered in SA 720. Annual report, right? Annual report में आपके जो है directors report and management discussion and analysis prepared by the management. CSR report highlighting the company's initiative and outcome. First of all, you need to understand that other information, it is responsibility of management. It can be financial or non-financial, right? So एनुअल रिपोर्ट में आपको ये दो चीजें दे दी है कि डायरेक्टर्स रिपोर्ट एंड मैनेजमेंट डिस्कशन एंड एनालिसिस जो मैनेजमेंट ने प्रिपेयर किए वो है. सीएसआर रिपोर्ट्स हाइलाइटिंग द कंपनीज इनिशिएटिव एंड आउटकम्स. Now chairman's message, if we talk, message from the chairman, what he is discussing, company's financial performance and strategic outlook. तो chairman का message भी आ गया आपका other information में. Future projection, forward looking statement in the annual report. Future के लिए आपने दिया है कि क्या projection है. About anticipated growth, जितना आप सोच रहे हो in revenue and expansion plans. द स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर, अब यहां आपको सिर्फ फैक्ट दिए हुए क्वेश्चन में, ये आपको जस्ट रीड करना है, लेकिन जो मेन क्वेश्चन है वो आपको आगे मिल रहा है. स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर ऑफ मेसर्स एसटीएन कंपनी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैव कंप्लीटेड इट्स ऑडिट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एंड प्रिपेयर्ड द ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट. एंड व्हाट दे हैव ऑब्जर्व दैट डायरेक्टर्स रिपोर्ट एंड एमडीए and are finalized and provided to auditor before the date of auditor's report, right? Chairman's message and future projection are not finalized. अभी finalized ही नहीं है, but expected to be included in the annual report and will be released after the auditor's report is issued. अब यहाँ पे भी important point क्या दिया है, issue क्या identify किए हैं, MD and A management discussion and analysis में STN company noted a misstatement. What is it? misstatement that companies claim of achieving 20% reduction in production cost. But when we completed our audit, as per audit evidence, what it is suggesting that reduction was only 10%. So a misstatement is there that as per management discussion and analysis, it is saying that companies claim of achieving 20% reduction. But it is 10% only. Second is chairman's matches, which is yet to be reviewed, contain optimistic revenue projection that appear inconsistent with the historical growth trend. So whatever message is being communicated regarding optimistic revenue projection, which it is also not consistent. जो history में जो हुआ है उससे वो consistent नहीं है. So these two issues were identified by the auditor. Now specific question is, what should Messrs ST and company include in the other information section? आप इसमें ये बताएंगे अदर इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन जो है उसमें क्या क्या पॉइंट्स कवर होते हैं एज पर SA 720. Second part कह रहा है, if management does not correct the identified misstatement, that is 20% and 10% in the MD and A, even after same was brought to their attention, what should Messrs ST and company report under the other information section? So your answers should give reference of SA 720. What is covered in other information, right? Other information will definitely, hints are also being given to you that it is the responsibility of management. Then your chairman's message, future projection, all these things will be forming part of your answer. If we refer to the answer, as per SA 720, name you can write auditor's responsibility relating to other information. Auditor is required to report on other information in the auditor's report for listed entity. Now, what is other information? It is financial and non-financial information included in entity's annual report. Now, this question is specifically asking you कि in the other information section क्या क्या include होगा. तो आपके आंसर में होना चाहिए as per SA 70 in the other information section of the auditor's report following should be included. What? First is statement that management is responsible for the other information included in the annual report. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपका ये हो गया. नेक्स्ट हो गया आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ अदर इंफॉर्मेशन. क्या क्या आइडेंटिफिकेशन, क्या क्या अदर इंफॉर्मेशन? Director's report and MD and A management discussion and analysis have been obtained prior to date of auditor's report. कि ये date of auditor's report से पहले obtain हो जाना चाहिए, जो कि as per question obtain. Director's report and management discussion and analysis was prepared by the management, right? And it was provided to the auditor before the date of auditor's report. So first point and second point is okay, that it is the responsibility of management. Second is director's report and management discussion and analysis have been obtained prior to the date of the auditor's report. Next point is mention of other information expected to be obtained later, that is chairman's message and future projection. अगर चेयरमैन ने अपना मैसेज नहीं दिया है फ्यूचर प्रोजेक्शन, तो दिस ऑल्सो वी नीड टू गिव दैट दिस इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी ऑब्टेन लेटर, राइट? नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज अदर इंफॉर्मेशन पे ऑडिटर की क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. ऑडिटर की जो ओपिनियन है वो क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है? स्टेटमेंट दैट ऑडिटर्स ओपिनियन डज नॉट कवर द अदर इंफॉर्मेशन. Auditor's opinion does not cover the other information and auditor does not express any form of assurance conclusion on it. बहुत क्लियरली आपको बताना है कि जो ऑडिटर की ओपिनियन है वो अदर इंफॉर्मेशन को कवर नहीं करती है एंड ऑडिटर डज नॉट एक्सप्रेस एनी फॉर्म ऑफ assurance conclusion for other information, right? Description of the auditor's responsibility relating to reading, considering and reporting on the other information as per SA 720. आपको ये भी बताना है मैनेजमेंट किस चीज के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, ऑडिटर किस चीज के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. तो एज पर SA 720 ऑडिटर की क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, वो डिस्क्रिप्शन आपका अदर इंफॉर्मेशन में यू विल शेयर. एंड लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अबाउट दैट मिस स्टेटमेंट. Statement on the result of auditor's review of the other information. If no misstatement is identified, statement to that effect. और अगर आपको कोई misstatement मिल गया है, identify कर लिया है, तो description of the uncorrected misstatement misstatement, yes or no? If yes, तो आपने क्या दिया? Statement to that effect. Or no, तो it means description. Description of uncorrected misstatement. कि अभी तक क्या ठीक नहीं हुआ है. जैसे उस क्वेश्चन में है, आपने अगर बी पार्ट देखा तो बी पार्ट में इट स्पेसिफिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट if management does not correct the identified misstatement in the management discussion and analysis, even after the same was brought to their attention, what should Messrs. ST and Company report? So what should Messrs. ST and Company report? Under other information section, that वही सेम पार्ट हमारा जो है वो हमें देना पड़ेगा एज पर एस 720. If the auditor identify material misstatement in the other information and management refuse to correct it, Messrs. ST and Company shall report same point. ठीक है, shall report the uncorrected misstatement in the other information section. What they will write, you can take from the question. We have identified a material misstatement in the MD&A regarding claim of 20%. However, based on our audit evidence, reduction was only 10%. Now, this question is carrying 5 marks. It is compulsory question. It is application-based question, right? So, in this question, for essay 720 based question, so this second part, if it is of 2 marks, then also for 3 marks, we need to write the all conditions, which all 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 conditions. You need to write that in other information section. First thing, so you should write essay 720, name of standard, then what is covered in essay 720, right? Other information section of auditor's report as per the question which is being asked. If you refer, what should include in the other information section of auditor's report? तो क्या क्या आना चाहिए? तो first thing कि management is not responsible. Management is responsible for the other information. Identification of other information, right? कि director's report and MD&A, other information expected to be obtained later. Statement auditor's opinion does not cover. Then description of auditor's responsibility or statement ऑन द रिजल्ट ऑफ ऑडिटर्स रिव्यू. जो ऑडिटर ने अदर इंफॉर्मेशन को रिव्यू किया कि मिसस्टेटमेंट है या नहीं है तो उसके लिए स्टेटमेंट, और नहीं है, सॉरी नहीं है तो स्टेटमेंट टू दैट इफेक्ट, और अगर है तो उसको डिस्क्रिप्शन देना होगा कि अनकरेक्टेड मिसस्टेटमेंट कितना है. अगर सारा करेक्ट हो गया तो डेफिनेटली स्टेटमेंट टू दैट इफेक्ट इट विल बी, राइट? So this way you need to, here you cannot write any, you cannot pick and choose any 2 or 3 pointers. Here in this question, you need to write all pointers as well as this second part. तो 5 marks के लिए बेटा इरम ऐसा है कि वैसे जनरली आप 5 marks के अकॉर्डिंगली लिख सकते हो, लेकिन कई बार कुछ क्वेश्चन लेंदी होते हैं, उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट के अकॉर्डिंगली आपको अपना आंसर कंप्लीट देना होता है. तो आप जब पेपर को करते हो आपको टाइम मैनेजमेंट करना है, और ऐसे 2 से 3 क्वेश्चन जनरली ऑब्जर्व किए जाते हैं, राइट? तो आपको ये चीज ध्यान रखनी है कि ऐसे जो 2-3 क्वेश्चन है उनको आपको स्पेसिफिकली टेक केयर करना है. अगर अब जैसे हम बी क्वेश्चन है या सी क्वेश्चन, एक और 5 मार्क्स का अगर हम क्वेश्चन देखें, अल्फा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग लिमिटेड इज एंगेज इन द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ स्पेशलिटी मशीनरी फॉर ऑटोमोटिव industry.
The company operates in a competitive market and is under pressure to meet aggressive revenue and profitability targets to secure additional funding from the investors. So the auditors from firm Beta Limited has been engaged to conduct AML's statutory audit for the financial year 24-25. Beta LLP performed risk assessment procedures and related activities towards obtaining information in identifying risk of material misstatement due to fraud, and also evaluated whether there is an indication that one or more fraud risk factors are present. Analytical procedures reveal unexpected relationships, potentially indicating fraudulent activities such as sales inflation by management to meet earning targets, Management is inflating sales by entering into sales agreement that include terms that preclude revenue recognition or by invoicing sales before delivery. Guide Beta LLP to decide the course of action in determining overall responses to address the assessed risk of material misstatement due to fraud at financial statement level and at assertion level.
Now, for this question, I interacted with one of the student, and what he did, he mentioned all the assertions. Financial statement level or all assertion level. So assertions also he mentioned. So first you should be aware of the concept. Then only you'll be able to write the correct answer. In this question, you need to write the pointers regarding determining overall response to address the assessed risk of material misstatement. And the risk is due to fraud. Fraud at financial statement and assertion level, right? So you need to give the course of action, how you are going to determine overall response to address the assessed risk. Now in this answer, you will not find 5 pointers. And this is also not like you need to interlink with fact of the case and you need to give conclusion. So in this question, you cannot write any conclusion for the same, right? So if you read the answer, you will see that in the answer, what we have divided it into two parts, right? One is for financial statement level, when we are determining overall response, that how we are going to respond to address the assessed risk of material misstatement, maybe due to fraud at the financial statement level. क्या करेगा auditor? Auditor will assign and supervise personal taking account of the knowledge, skill, and ability of the individual to be given significant engagement responsibility and the auditor's assessment of the risk of material misstatement. Now we are talking about financial statement level. What we are going to do, we will assign and supervise personnel who is taking account of the knowledge, skill, and ability of the individual, and they will be given significant engagement responsibility, right? And what is the auditor's assessment? Due to fraud for the engagement. और उसके बाद वो क्या करेंगे? पहले तो आपने असाइन कर दिया, सुपरवाइज किया, उसके बाद आपने क्या किया? इवेल्युएट. What you are going to do? Evaluate whether the selection and application of accounting policies by the entity, particularly those related to subjective measurement and complex transaction, may be indicative of fraudulent financial reporting resulting from management's effort to manage earnings. And last is incorporate an element of unpredictability in the selection of the nature, timing, extent. तो आप ये देखो, आपने सबसे पहले फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट लेवल पे क्या किया? असाइन किया, सुपरवाइज किया पर्सनल को जो इसका पूरा ध्यान रख रहे. सेकंड में आपने इवेल्युएट किया कि जो सिलेक्शन एंड एप्लीकेशन ऑफ अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसीज है या सब्जेक्टिव मेजरमेंट से रिलेटेड है या कॉम्प्लेक्स ट्रांजेक्शन्स के लिए है, उन सबको आप चेक करोगे कि वो इंडिकेटिव तो नहीं है फ्रॉडलेंट फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग की. ठीक है. Third is incorporate an element of unpredictability in the selection of the nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure. अगर हम ये भी देखेंगे कि कोई ऐसा तो नहीं है कि अगर कोई एलिमेंट जो है उसको भी इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे जो कि अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है, जब हम नेचर, टाइमिंग एंड एक्सटेंट जो है ऑडिट प्रोसीजर का सिलेक्ट करेंगे, डिसाइड करेंगे उस वक्त. अब ये था आपका फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट लेवल के लिए 3 पॉइंटर्स. लेकिन अब जब आप assertion लेवल पे आए तो आपके पास 2 पॉइंटर्स है और सेकंड पॉइंटर का भी सब पॉइंटर है, राइट? तो फॉर 5 मार्क्स दिस आंसर इज, इफ यू सी, इट इज कंप्लीट आंसर एंड यू नीड टू गिव कंप्लीट आंसर इटसेल्फ. फॉर assertion लेवल ऑडिटर क्या कर रहा है? डिजाइन एंड परफॉर्म फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर whose nature, timing and extent are responsive to the assessed risk of material misstatement due to fraud at the assertion level. और ऐसा करने के लिए what auditor will do? Auditor will change the nature, timing and extent of audit procedure to obtain audit evidence that is more reliable and relevant. More reliable and relevant to obtain additional corroborative information. Right? And if the auditor identify that management is under pressure to meet the earning expectations, there may be related risk that management is inflating sales by entering into sales agreement that include terms and preclude revenue recognition, or by invoicing sales before delivery. And this is the example which is being given in the study material itself. And on the basis of that example, the question was being framed, right? So same example of the sales agreement is asked in the question, and it is given in the study material also, that if the auditor identify that management is under pressure, in that situation also management was under pressure. See, Alpha Limited is engaged in the production, right? Company operates in a competitive market and is under pressure to meet aggressive revenue and profitability targets. So management of the company is under pressure to meet revenue and profitability target to secure additional funding, right? And Beta LLP is engaged for statutory audit for the year 24-25, and they have performed risk assessment procedure related activities, और वो information को identify कर रहे हैं कि सब ठीक है या नहीं, और whether there is an indication that one or more fraud risk factors are present. ठीक है, और एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर से भी ये पता चल रहा है कि आपके अनएक्सपेक्टेड रिलेशनशिप पोटेंशियली इंडिकेटेड फ्रॉडलेंट एक्टिविटी. और आप यहाँ देखो, मैनेजमेंट इज inflating sales by entering into sales agreement that include terms that preclude revenue recognition, or by invoicing sales before delivery. ठीक है, तो ये सेम चीज is covered in the assertion level part, that if the auditor identify that management is under pressure to meet earnings expectation, there may be a related risk that management is inflating sales by entering into sales agreement, and it include terms that preclude revenue recognition, or by invoicing sales before delivery. Same situation है. In these circumstances, auditor क्या करेगा? Design external confirmation, not only confirm outstanding amount but also to confirm the detail of the sales agreement, including date, any right of return, delivery term, ये सारा आप confirmation request डिजाइन करेंगे, और डेटर के अलावा बाकी सारी चीजें भी ये कंफर्म करेंगे. उसके अलावा क्या करेंगे? ऑडिटर माइट फाइंड इट इफेक्टिव टू सप्लीमेंट सच एक्सटर्नल कंफर्मेशन विथ इंक्वायरीज ऑफ नॉन फाइनेंशियल पर्सनल इन द एंटिटी की रिगार्डिंग एनी चेंज इन सेल्स एग्रीमेंट एंड डिलीवरी टर्म्स. कोई डिलीवरी टर्म्स में या आपकी जो एग्रीमेंट है उसमें कहीं कोई चेंज तो नहीं हुआ है, तो ये सारी चीजें भी ऑडिटर देखेगा. This situation was specifically taken from one of the example of the study material, and they framed question on the same. But of course, in the question they have since asked you two requirements, one regarding financial statements level, and then second one it is for assertion level. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है कि आपको दोनों ही देने पड़ेंगे, right? तो इसलिए it is very important that you are through and you are having conceptual clarity, you are having in-depth knowledge, then you will be able to understand the requirement of the question. And these are 5-marker question which are lengthy one. Okay, these questions are lengthy one, and for that you cannot compromise for pointers. Otherwise, if we talk of application analysis of like base question, generally the format is same. If we can go to, like if we talk of question 2, XY and Associate, Chartered Accountant is an audit firm giving services to the various types of clients in the field of auditing, taxation, management consultancy. And it has been doing statutory audit of B Limited, a listed entity, since last 7 years. अब आप देखो, it's talking for listed entity in last 7 years, right? CAX, who has been the engagement partner for the company since beginning, has a complete idea about the strength and weakness of internal control. CAX है, उसको सब पता है क्या strength है, क्या weakness है internal control उस company के. He maintains good relation also, and those charged with governance. Every year audit is completed in a cordial and healthy manner. During current year, the quality control reviewer insisted to change the engagement partner for the company, saying that continuation of same engagement partner poses certain audit risk. क्या हुआ? क्वालिटी कंट्रोल रिव्यू हुआ और उसमें एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर चेंज की बात हो रही है. That same engagement partner possess certain audit risk and threat to the organization, and they advise to review the firm's policy and procedures in relation to the engagement partner. The management of the company does not wish to change. क्यों? क्योंकि उनके बहुत अच्छे familiar relation हो गए हैं. So they don't want to change the engagement partner. How do you view the above situation from the viewpoint of quality control system in audit firm? Now it is specifically asking you about the SQC1. कि आप इस सिचुएशन को कैसे बताओगे? गाइड द फर्म इन एस्टेब्लिशिंग द पॉलिसीज एंड प्रोसीजर इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ एन एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर. SQC1 भी पूछ लिया और एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर करके आपको ऐसे 220 भी पूछ लिया, राइट? तो अब हम अगर आंसर देखें, SQC1 में क्या क्या सिचुएशन दी हुई है कि फर्म शुड एस्टेब्लिश क्राइटेरिया, है ना? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो स्पेसिफिक एम्फेसिस है फेमिलियरिटी थ्रेड्स पे, क्योंकि सेम सीनियर पर्सनल सेम एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर इज ऑडिटिंग सिंस 7 years. So it may impair the quality of performance of the engagement. So it is very important to have rotation in the process. Second, इसलिए firm should establish criteria for determining the need for safeguard to address this threat. और उसके लिए वो क्या देखेंगे? Nature of the engagement, including the extent to which involve a matter of public interest, length of service, familiarity threat, again it is covered, right? Financial statements audit of listed entities. For these audit, engagement partners should be rotated after a predefined period, normally not more than 7 years. और इस situation में भी 7 years हो चुके हैं. So, however, to ensure quality control exists in such firm and appropriate reports are issued, there is a process for mandatory peer review of such firms. तो आपको यहाँ पे इन द गिवन सिचुएशन, यहाँ आपको सिचुएशन आपने पूरा पूरा फैक्ट ऑफ द केस दे दिया, और उसके बाद में एज पर एसक्यूसी फर्म द कंटिन्यूड इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ सेम एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर्स EX with a listed entity for extended period more than 7 years poses a familiarity threat, impairing audit quality and independence. So firm should implement a policy of mandatory partner rotation. ठीक है? To ensure that there is compliance with professional standards and maintain the integrity. तो first thing आपने वहां पे SQC1 की requirement लिख दी, उसके बाद आपने उसको fact of the case से interlink किया, और यहाँ आपने लिख दिया कि SQC1 के accordingly mandatory rotation होना चाहिए, और यहाँ policy and procedures देने हैं आपको engagement partner point of view से. And I think identify the role of the engagement partner are communicated to key members of the client management and those charged with governance.
The firm should establish policies and procedures requiring that the identity and role of engagement partners are communicated to key members of the client's management and TCWG. The engagement partner has the appropriate capabilities, competence, authority, and time to perform the role, and the responsibilities of the engagement partners are clearly defined and communicated to that partner.
तो यहाँ जो क्वेश्चन है, वैसे if we talk about engagement partner, तो it is simply comprising of, it will attract SA 220, but in SQC1 also it will click in your mind that SQC1 and SA 220 both will be, but in this particular question SQC1 gives you, because here firm in establishing the policy and procedure for engagement partner, if the role of firm for establishing the policy and procedure comes into the picture, then SA 220 will not be applicable, and the policy and procedures with respect to engagement partner are discussed in SQC1. So you need to give the answer for that. So I think one question we can take from Code of Ethics, professional ethics. Yeah. This will be lengthy one. It is for 5 marks. If we can discuss that also, no issues. Yeah, students, this is again for 5 marks. Mr. Jazz and Company is a partner. Of course, you all are aware that this paper was lengthy one, right? And we are discussing this lengthy one paper only, where the requirement of answer is also detailed one. Of course, but in general, it is not so lengthy in the examination. Huh? Mrs. Judge and Company is a partnership firm consisting of two partners, CA J and CA Z. J is exclusively associated with the firm and is not doing practice in individual capacity. Z is doing practice in his individual capacity also. So J is associated with the firm and not doing practice in individual, है ना? And Z practice भी कर रहे हैं, individual में भी कर रहे हैं और firm में भी कर रहे हैं. For the year 23-24, firm has already undertaken audit and signed audit reports. 44 AB and 44 AD of the Income Tax Act 1961. क्वेश्चन में आपको दे दिया है 44 AB कॉर्पोरेट क्लाइंट के लिए 30 and 5 हो गए हैं, 44 AB में 60 and 10 है और 44 AD के लिए 20 and 12 है. और ये किसके लिए दिया हुआ है? Corporate, non-corporate and under section this. For the financial year 23-24, CAZ has undertaken audit in individual capacity. अब क्योंकि वो individual capacity में कर रहा है तो उसने corporate के लिए 4 कर दी है. तो if we talk of Z, 5 plus 4 it means 9. Under section non-corporate clients, 10 plus 9, 19. And for this, 12 plus 8, 20. Now, for the financial year 23-24, the firm is approached further to take up the following assignments. 3 tax audit assignments under section 44AB for corporate clients, 4 tax audit assignments under section 44AD. ठीक है? आपको गाइड करना है, advise whether the firm should accept the further tax audit assignments for the financial year 23-24 as above in the light of professional code of conduct. Now, I'm asking you, if we talk for 44AB corporate clients, 35 and 4, हम individual को भी add करते हैं ना, तो it will be 39. Non-corporate, 60, 10 and 9, 79. और ऐसे देखें तो corporate, non-corporate, और 44AD के लिए 20, 12 and 8. तो 40, राइट? और 4 टैक्स ऑडिट असाइनमेंट, 2 पार्टनर्स है. कितनी ऑडिट वो ले सकते हैं? आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर. इरम, सुमित, हिमांशी, इफ यू आर देयर, आई कैन सी यू. इफ यू कैन राइट आंसर दैट हाउ मैनी ऑडिट्स they can have more under section 44AB as well as under section 44AD. Yeah.
For 44 AD limit, there is no limit. And for 44 AB, there is a limit of 60 per partner. But a single partner can sign the all tax audit report.
Okay.
In this case, there are 2 partners, so the 120 tax audit is allowed in the name of the firm.
So they have taken already 39 plus 79, right?
Yes.
How many? 118. And how many they can take up? 60 per partner?
Yes.
So 60 multiplied by 2 is 120. So they can take up 2 more? They can take up 2 more tax audit? 120 minus 118, 2 more tax audits. What for other?
We can take all the 4.
All 4, because there is no limit on assignment, right? So for 44 AD, he can take up all 4 audit assignments because there is no limit. But for 44 AB, it is 60 per partner, and for 2 partner, it will be 120. So Sumit is also right, but yeah, Iram is fully, he has written whole correct answer. Sumit, you need to revise more. Right, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, of course, for 44 AB, you have given correct answer that 60 is allowed and they need to take up, the combined we need to take up. The separate wala part is not applicable for your examination, right? So, combined we need to take up for 120, and here we are already having 118, and for that also we will include individual capacity audits also. So total 118 is already being conducted. So 2 more they can accept for this. So conclusion, you need to give specifically that in view of the above provision, first you need to give the provision, then you need to write the fact of the case that for the 44 AB, how many audits they are having. including individual capacity for corporate and non-corporate. So total is 118. They can accept 120. So they can accept 2 more audits for out of 3 tax audit assignments proposed to take up. They can accept only 2. In case of 44 AD, since there is no limit, so they can accept all 4 tax audit assignments, right? So I think if beta we have tried to cover some of the question. If you have any specific doubt in any of the question, you can ask. Otherwise, time is indicating us to conclude also. If you have any doubt, you can write or you can unmute. Yeah, Sumit.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam, for this session. बट मैडम होता ही है कि एग्जाम में जब इतना होता है ना, मतलब सारे क्वेश्चन जब एक साथ आते हैं तो फिर उस समय ना हैंडल करना थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है। उसके लिए आपने कहा है कि मॉक टेस्ट प्रैक्टिस करें घर पे, तो मैंने किया भी।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल Definitely you need to practice in the examination condition. Then you will be able to understand the requirement and you will be able to clear also, right? तो इसलिए थोड़ा रिटन प्रैक्टिस बहुत जरूरी है। रिटन प्रैक्टिस के साथ में उसकी एनालिसिस होना भी बहुत जरूरी है,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So with this, we wish you all the very best for your September 25 examination. You can practice mock test paper, you can evaluate, and definitely improvement is always required. If we find any where we are lacking, please do not get panic. If the paper is also difficult one, out of 118 marks, we know many of the question in best of the possible manner we can attend the paper. Don't get panic, be balanced, right? And if you find still any difficulty, we are there in open house 4 to 5 p.m., right? At on every Wednesday for CA Final Paper 3, we are there for you 4 to 5. And apart from the same also, you can reach out to us on 01203045 You can also use the Ask Your Query feature, which is available on BoS mobile app and BoS Knowledge Portal, and you can reach out to us. With this, wishing you all the very best. Please do your best and be confident, and still we are having time. 17 days time is not very less. You can still do wonders. You need to have conceptual clarity. Don't go for shortcuts and write the required and relevant answer. It should be legitimate. This examiner can read. It should be readable, right? And whatever you are thinking for the question, your answer should reflect the same. So when you are practicing, if you will analyze that, yes, whether we are writing the correct answer, you will be able to analyze that, yes, we are covering everything. If we are missing on any part, we need to improvise further. In case still you find any difficulty, you can reach out to us and we will definitely be helping you. With this, wishing you all the very best for your this examination. We wish you success for the same, and thank you for the guidance today. Mentor, I was CA Karuna Bhansali.
And CA Tanya Gupta.
And all the
very
best.
हाँ जी।